So if you watched my previous video, you saw that I recently picked up a Mamiya RB67 from a trade. I ran a couple test rolls through it. I got my scans back, and I just kind of wanted to go over like my first impressions of my experience using the Mamiya RB67 for the first time. But yeah, just in case you didn't watch that video, just a quick recap. I had a Mamiya 645 Pro that I was shooting for, but I wanted to step it up to a 6x7 negative size. So I was looking to try to sell my Mamiya 645 and then just use that cash to buy an RB67. Essentially, I ended up an even trade. I ended up trading my Mamiya 645 for the RB67 even trade. It worked out perfectly in my favor. I'm very happy with it. After using a 6x7 camera, I knew that it was time to move up. There was a little bit more detail. There was a little bit more like quality in there as compared to the 645, and definitely compared to like 35 millimeter. So I pretty much narrowed it down to the RB67 because it's more affordable, I thought, than an RZ, than a Pentax 6.7. And I think the other thing that was closest to it as far as price goes was a Veronica medium format camera. But I decided to go with the RB67. We traded it, but I didn't want to shoot any serious work on it until I knew if it was working. So I've technically shot 3 rolls through it. 2 of them have come back. Camera's working, perfect condition. I'm gonna go and show the photos here throughout the video. But my very first roll that I got back, unfortunately, came back completely blank. After watching a couple videos and asking a couple of friends of mine who already have the RB67, they pretty much told me there's a little switch on the lens. It was flipped to M. I'm not sure what that means. I forgot what they told me. It was switched to M. So it wasn't, I think it was a mirror lockup or something like that. It was just firing. They told me to run through every single shutter speed, and if it sounds the same, I have to, it's probably that switch. And I started it from bulb all the way to 400, and they all sounded the exact same. So after flipping that switch, I ran the test again, and sure enough, 1 second actually lasted 1 second. 400 was quick at 400. So thank you specifically to Tori. I'll go ahead and, this is his Instagram right here. He's the one that let me know that that's a problem that was going on, sorry. So after finding out what was wrong with it, I decided to try it again. So we went up for a walk around my house. I loaded up some Portra 160, and we just went for a walk around the block. Just shot some photos of some houses. Again, nothing serious. I just want to see if it worked. Got my scans back, and thankfully it works perfect. Couldn't be happier with it. So when I got my scans back and I saw that all my photos worked perfectly fine, I decided to kind of set up a little in-home, not really product shot, but just like a little mini shoot with some sneakers. It was a Sunday afternoon. The Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance, was about to premiere. So right before that, I decided to bust out my camera and a reflector and everything. And I loaded up one more roll of Portra 160, and I went through some photos of those sneakers. Just kind of, I don't know, I was feeling nostalgic. Michael Jordan stuff was coming out. I'm into sneakers, I'm into basketball, I'm into film. So I combined all that together, and I did a little shoot with some sneakers that I had. So I'm in the house, and I'm in the house bored. I figured I'd pull out my film camera and pull out sneakers to shoot. Since the Michael Jordan documentary premieres tonight, I figured why not shoot some J's on film. Yeah. I'm shooting Portra 160 rated at 200. I have my sneakers on this little like plexiglass thing, so I get a little bit of reflection. And I have my reflector to camera right, just kind of reflecting the sun, obviously. So, but both times I've had the issue where one shot, primarily my first photo, comes out double exposed. operating the Mamiya RB67 is a little different. There's technically 3 steps in order to advance, at least with the back that I have, with the film back I have. There's 3 steps in order for you to advance and go to the next photo. So you take your photo, when you fire the camera, the mirror goes gray, obviously. So on the right side, you have to wind that up to clear the mirror up. On the back of the film back, there's a little lever for you to actually advance the film, but there's a little switch to turn off, because once you fire a shot, a little switch turns red, meaning that that frame has been exposed. I guess you're supposed to like switch it back to white and then advance it. I think what I've been doing, I've been winding to clear up the mirror and winding the film, and forgetting sometimes to switch the little dot from red back to white. So I essentially end up double exposing all of my photographs. Still something I'm trying to get used to. You know, on 35mm cameras, you just shoot and wind. That's it. There's really only one step to get to the next frame, and that's just winding it. This, you gotta cock the mirror, advance the film, clear the little red dot back out. So that's gonna come with practice. So my first impressions after shooting 2 rolls of film through it, one is I absolutely love it. The quality that I get back from the size of my scans, like the detail, the shadow detail, it's amazing. I really enjoy it. It's definitely a step up from 645 format, and a big step up from 35mm as far as quality and how much range it actually captures from highlights and shadows, especially if you shoot in like nice lighting. And even if you throw it into even if you edit your photos, you can definitely recover a lot of that shadow detail and everything in there, and you can retain highlights fairly well. My only complaint, well, it's just really 2. One, very heavy camera, very cumbersome to carry around. But I mean, I guess you have to. It's all mechanical. I mean, so it's all, most of it is made of metal parts, heavy material. I mean, there's really no cutting back on the weight there on the RB. And my only other complaint would be, I'm guessing my current film back having to remember to do that, switching the white dot over into the red dot to the white dot before advancing, so I don't double expose my photos, because you do only get 10 photos. So double exposing one, it could be a happy accident. It could just totally ruin your shot. That's something that you have to remember to keep in mind of, because if not, you're gonna ruin essentially 10% of your entire roll. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave you with a couple more photos that I've taken on this camera. I'm hoping to keep shooting more and more with this, especially once lockdown is over. Here in Texas, as of May 1st, our governor said that businesses, malls, restaurants, stores, department stores can open back up. But yeah, once everything is safe to go back out, I'm definitely gonna take my camera out to downtown and to different places to keep testing it more and more before I feel 100% comfortable with this. Because just like anything new or anything new to you, you do have to get used to it and find its kinks and everything like that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the photos, and I'll see you on the next one. So I've shot 2 tests for letting me know. So after that, minutes. I'm hoping I can do. I'm hoping I did it here. Whack. It's fucking hot.